Morning, children. So, we have read the first portion of our lesson, Adventures in the Andamans. I'm sure you might have read the first page and you're already thrilled to know what happened to a Manav and his tiny little turtle. Now, let's hear more from Rachana ma'am. Okay?
Hello dears, don't you remember the story of our Manav? Where we have stopped in our last class. Our Manav, he is a little boy. He likes beach and sea very much. One day he went to the beach with his mother and he went deep into the water. In the water he met a tiny turtle. That turtle was too tiny, too small, so he gave it a name Tiny. They became very good friends, and that day he told, "Today I have to go back to the seashore because my mother is waiting there, she will be buried, and I will come back," he told to the Tiny. Then he went back. After that, did he go to the beach again? Did he meet the turtle? Let's read our story. I didn't tell anyone about my turtle, and that night I dreamt about Tiny showing me the whole ocean. The next morning I almost dragged my parents to the beach and then quickly wore my rubber flippers and wobbled into the clear blue water. So he was so excited, and that night he dreamt of Tiny. So he was waiting for the morning. The next morning, he dragged his parents to the beach and then quickly wore his rubber flippers and wobbled into the water. Wobbled means moved in a way that shows poor balance very fastly into the water. "Be careful, Manav," called my mother as usual. "Of course, Ma," I replied. I swam out of a safe depth and then waved to my parents. When I reached my usual area near the big black rocks, Tiny was waiting. My heart missed a beat as he smiled at me again and then asked me to follow him. Not with words, of course, but I just knew. My Tiny was waiting there. I was so happy, so excited. Tiny smiled at me again and then asked me to follow him. Not with words, of course, but I understood from his actions. He was so excited, he forgot about everything and he went with that Tiny in the deep water. After that, what happened? Let's move to the next paragraph. And then Tiny took me on a magical journey. We swam through giant coral reefs, glided past slimy eels, and saw thousands of starfish resting on a rock. Really, Manav saw what all the things under the water. First, he saw coral reefs. Coral reefs means underwater habitat where fish, coral, and seaweed can be found. Then he saw eels and thousands of starfish resting on a rock. But Tiny saved the best until last. Basking in the reflection of the summer sun, I discovered a whole family of turtles. Basking means lying in a place that is warm. There he saw a family of turtles. This was Tiny's family. I was dizzy. I was so excited, faint with excitement. After a few moments, I thought it best to thrust my head out of the water and get some fresh air. Then I plunged back down to join Tiny. I nearly choked. I saw him twisting and turning in a section of fishing net. A silver hook planted firmly in his back left leg. Manav saw Tiny's family. Dizzy means faint with excitement. Then he thrust his head out of the water. Thrust means pushed out or in with force to get fresh air. Then plunged. Plunged means jumped or dived quickly. down to join Tiny. He was shocked, became unable to breathe or speak because of strong emotion. He was so tensed because Tiny was twisting and turning in a section of fishing net. He was caught in a fishing net, a silver hook planted firmly in his back left leg. Wait, Tiny, I cried. I'll help you, but you have to trust me. Tiny stayed perfectly still, but I could see the pain in his eyes. My hands were shaky, but soon I gently pulled the hook free and the net came away easily. Tiny was safe. I gathered up the net as I didn't want any other turtle getting caught. I suddenly realized I had been away from the beach for quite some time, so I waved to the turtle family and rose to the surface. Here we can see very good nature of Manav. He gathered up the net. He didn't want any other turtle getting caught. Then he suddenly realized he had been away from the beach for quite some time, so he waved to the turtle family and rose to the surface. Rose is the past tense of the word rise. So this is enough for today, dears. Read these 2 pages. Okay, thank you.